oh no, my website has keyword cannibalization issues. What do I do? Or in most cases, what now? Most people don't even realize that their website could have keyword cannibalization issues or just website cannibalization issues. What this basically means is two pages on your website are fighting to rank for the same thing, and Google Librarian looks at it and is like, I can't make heads or tails of it. Which page should I recommend? And they don't recommend either. Or they slowly start declining in the rankings because it's clear to Google you're not very organized because I can't understand what your pages are trying to say. This happens for a lot of businesses and a lot of websites that are trying to create content for their customers. They're trying to write things that their customer wants to read. Many times it's usually like two very similar blog posts that are written by like two different people within a business. And sometimes it's very weird scenarios like the one we had with Peak Integrative. With Peak Integrative, we had a service page about mycotoxins and mold illness, and we had a blog post that was going over all the different symptoms of mycotoxins and mold illness and those different things. And what was happening was we had just a little section on our service page going into the details of mycotoxins and how they impact a bunch of different areas, have a wide variety of symptoms. And Google was taking that as, oh, this page should rank for mycotoxins and mold symptoms. And then the blog post was competing with it. If we hop into the data here, back in September 2024, this is actually when the problem arose. And you'll be like, what problem, Wes? Both of them are climbing in the rankings. They increased from previous month. The service page had 221 people go to it, and the blog post right here had 129 people go to it. I don't see a problem. And most people wouldn't. If we look at the next month in October, it looks like it did pretty well. It looks like everything is correct and it's ranking well and it's continuing to grow. If you look at the symptoms page, it grew to 250. And then the service page grew to 243. It's continuing to grow each month. There can't be anything wrong with this page. What are you saying about it? And if you look at November, you'll see that the mold and mycotoxin symptoms has continued to grow even more with 344. And this is where the problem really starts showing. The service page started dropping. And then if we hop over to December, it still looks like things are going in the right direction. But what I found was in Google Search Console. So we reached the peak of what we could do with the symptoms page, but at the same time, our service page dropped 43%. And that can be a little nerve-wracking. I'm like, oh no, we're losing people. And what I did was I dove into Search Console and found that they were both competing for the same keywords. In January, we saw a little bit of a drop, but in February 2025, after we did a bunch of changes, we were able to see a massive growth. Let me hop over to February in 2025. February 2025, shortest month that usually you don't see growth for a lot of pages, you see a drop. That month, we saw a post and page that originally was getting like 129 visits and a service page was getting 221. We saw that blog post go up to 1,096. And then the service page also climbed back up to 208 after having dropped down. How do we fix this? Essentially what we did was we made sure all of our links regarding mold and mycotoxin symptoms was going to the blog post, while we made sure services related keywords were linked to the service page. Additionally, we added a little bit of content to the blog post about symptoms, and we removed some of the symptom related content from the service page. This made it very clear to Google, okay, this is the page that should be ranking when people are searching for symptoms, and this is the page that people should be finding when they're looking for services. This could be happening on your website, and this is just a clear example of both blog posts on their own are doing great, getting a total of 300, 400 people a month to the site. But then when we correct it, one blog post is getting 1,096 people and the service page is getting 208 people. Now that is getting a lot of traction online, a lot of credibility, a lot of people finding the answer to the question that they're looking for. This is just one way that we helped Peak grow. If you're concerned your website might have a lot of cannibalization issues and you're interested in growing your website's rankings and growth and leads, contact us at WestWeb. Thanks.